Hello everyone. In point of fact, the relationship between teachers and students is extremely intense, and this is due to their mutual participation in setting up the methodology, structure, procedure, planning, using techniques in order to fulfill the lesson objective. With all the participation that are involved in the classroom setting, such as discussion about any particular topic, is connected or is linked to the level of responsiveness. The responsiveness of your students can be negative or positive. If it is negative, obviously your lesson will not be achieved, obviously. If it is positive, therefore you are going to cope with the lesson objective. So today's lesson is about the influence of responsiveness, student responsiveness or responsiveness classroom environment towards what? Toward communicative language teaching approach. Because you are going to apply a communication structure between your students in order to talk about a particular topic. This is the reason. So that approach that you want to apply is dependent. Dependent on what? Dependent on the level of the level of enthusiasm of your students. Are they encouraging to study your topic? Are they motivated? This is the topic that we need to discuss now. So, as I said, the impact or the influence of responsiveness classroom environments communicative language teaching, I will just make it shorter, CLT, right? Communicative language teaching. The first thing you need to consider is the negativity or positivity of your discussion. You are the controller of this kind of situation. You are going to make your students to respond actively rather than passively towards the desirable lesson. What you are going to do here is to reflect your content appropriately. So the first element that I want to discuss is called content reflection. What do you mean by content reflection? Here, when you present a topic, I'm not going to talk just traditionally or explaining just as you read it. Now, you are going to reflect it by using what? Movements. By hands, moving your body, hinting for something, etc. So we are referring to reflecting what the lesson content, the content of your lesson, what your lesson is about, and how to transform the content information to learners' mindsets. So what we have here is content reflection. We are going to do it what? By physical movements. Right? Physical movements. Hinting to object. Can be think, can be a book, whatever. Another thing, explaining meaning. Right? Explaining meaning. You are going to explain meaning by using mime, gestures, non-verbal communications without depending on the translation to the Arabic or to the native language of your students. This is the first thing that you need to do, is to reflect the content. In order to reflect the content appropriately and attract the students' responses, to let them engage and have their and respond, provide their own ideas, be excited about whatever they are learning. Here you should make it fun. Remember, learning is fun. Or we can we can base on the idea that fun learning is extremely needed. Right? Make it interesting. Use a humor classroom approach. You can use it. You can laugh. You can joke. You can add something example that fit their own. We can say it. Their maturity or their the biological structure. This is what I'm referring. This has to do with the psychology. I moved to another thing, another field. So let us go back to our lesson. I was explaining about content reflection, how you are going to make it fun, how you are going to make it entertaining and exciting to your students. The first thing you need to do is to create what? To base your lesson on learning entertainment. Right? How to make it entertainment. How to make it fun and interesting to our students. The first thing you need to do is to provide examples that reflect or that explain the real life setting. You are going to provide examples that they can understand about, that push them forward to give responses. This is the essence of responsiveness, to make it positive rather than negative. They will actively participate, provide their own ideas regarding the presented lesson, right? So, for example, there are certain things that can be done indirectly using gestures, etc. What about tenses? This is the difficult part. When you teach past continuous, how you are going to do it? You are going to change your position. You are a teacher, then you become an actor. To act, to send the message indirectly to your students by acting the situation or explaining the tenses by using some kind of scenario. What are these scenarios? I will explain it. For example, you are talking about the past continuous. Past continuous, present perfect, whatever. Let us stick with the past continuous. In the past continuous, what you are going to do is to create a role play. Role play with the 3 participants, right? You are going to show them instruction, the first thing, without depending on the Arabic language or the French or the target language of the audience. So you need to focus on the English language. What I was saying. You are going to do what? You are going to participate in a role play and present a topic by acting at the same time. So, for example, you will use object, tables, etc. I was sitting here when she entered the classroom. I was explaining the lesson and use gestures. You are going to act, make a drama. Okay? This is the reason. This is the way that you are going to do while explaining tenses rather than translating to the Arabic language. For example, the student A is going to act as your daughter or whatever, your friend. The other one is a stranger. Is going to enter the room and you are having discussion, and you are going to instruct other students what you are doing. You're going to have a discussion and students B enter the classroom and interrupt you. Here you stop and tell the other group that what I was speaking to group A, or to student A, when the student B entered the classroom. So I was speaking and the students B entered the classroom. Here the position, or the we can say it, the situation that was done with your student B is being interrupted by student with the student A is being interrupted by student B. So you were speaking with that student, and after that, suddenly, student B entered the classroom and interrupt. So we stop that process. He or she stopped that process, right? So this is the meaning. Make it entertaining. Use some kind of traditional things like cultural heritage that's related to their own cultural heritage by using some kind of example that reflect their real life setting. So by this, students will respond positively and start engaging by providing examples and using the required skill that you want them to learn. This is the reason. From that learning entertainment, you are going to do what? To have a collaboration work environment. Collaboration work. Collaboration work could be by dividing the student or arranging them into several groups or pairs as you like. You can arrange them to sit in horseshoe or in circle as you want them to participate. This is the reason. Collaboration work can help the teacher to set the communicative language teaching. Right? Communicative language teaching. So from this part, you are going to start your method, your approach, in order to do it in a very expected achievement. You are going to have responses after you make sure these things, these elements are being fulfilled. Therefore, you are going to begin the communicative language teaching approach with your students and open a debate, allow students to communicate freely with their students about their favorite object, about anything that they would like to learn. So here we are referring to learners' preference. Learners' preference according to their own need, like I explained in the previous videos. That was all. Thank you very much for your kind and serious consideration. See you for the upcoming